Hello everyone, welcome back to Super Smash or Pass. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the mascot of the hit Yokai Watch series, Jibanyan. So the Yokai Watch series is a Pokemon-like, and what I mean by that is a series of catching and training monsters to fight each other, that kind of a thing. Sure, I mean, Pokemon didn't originate this whole idea, but this is the mainstream success of Pokemon. Many companies have copied. Of course, the most famous one is Digimon, and even more famous than Digimon at this point is Yokai Watch. Yokai Watch started off in 2015 on the Nintendo 3DS here in North America, spawning multiple sequels, including, and I'm going to refer to my list here because there's a lot of them, Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls, also for the Nintendo 3DS, released in 2016 here in North America. Yokai Watch 2, Psychic Specters, released in 2017. Yokai Watch 3, Sushi and Tempura, which are yet to release here in North America and will be releasing in 2019 on the Nintendo 3DS. Yokai Watch 3 Sukiyaki, which also has not been released yet. That is the third version of the shrimp, sushi and tempura games, so presumably that'll be either 2019 or 2020. I don't know if there's an exact release date yet. Yokai Watch Blasters, Red Cat Cores, and White Dog Squad, also for the 3DS, released in 2018. This is a spin-off one that was like a mini-game in Yokai Watch 3 that they turned into its own series. Yokai Watch Blasters Moon Rabbit Crew, which was also released in 2018, which is an expansion on the previous Yokai Watch Blasters game that I mentioned. And then there were two other games in Japan that was a spin-off of Yokai Watch done with the other studios. So the first one was a crossover with Ubisoft, and that is Yokai Watch Just Dance. I mean, the full title will be here for you to look at, but it's Yokai Watch Just Dance. Literally, it's the funniest thing. And that came out in 2015 on the Nintendo Wii U, and that is Japan only. And Koei Tecmo's Sangokushi series also had a crossover of Yokai Watch in 2016 on the 3DS, and that again is Japanese exclusive. And finally, upcoming, it's going to be 2018 in Japan. There is no release date for here in the West right now, and I always try to go off the Western release dates, obviously because I am located in the United States. So Yokai Watch 4 on the Switch will be releasing at some point, presumably either 2019, maybe 2020, depending on how it goes. It will be 2018 over in Japan, however, at least supposedly. So, why Jibanyan? Well, Jibanyan is kind of the de facto mascot for the Yokai Watch series. Now, there are other yokai, for example, Whisper, who tend to show up quite a bit and could also be considered mascots, but Jibanyan is basically their Pikachu, right? And Jibanyan has quite a defined moveset, of course, because it's a Pokemon-like. He has moves from his own game, and those can be really easily translated into Super Smash Bros., much like they do for the Pokemon fighters. So I don't really see any issue in giving him an interesting and unique moveset, especially since there are a lot of subspecies of Jibanyan. There's a robot one, there's a samurai one, there's like a punk or like a biker one or something. There's so many different forms of this character that if they wanted to pull from those, they could basically do anything with Jibanyan, and I actually think there was enough different forms they could pull from to basically make an entire roster of just Jibanyan alternates. So there's that. This also clearly lends itself very well to Echo Fighters and alternate costumes, but I don't think they'd go as far as to make these Echo Fighters because it doesn't really make sense to me to have basically the same character over and over and over. Insert your Marth jokes here. And then, but alt costumes do make sense to me for at least some of the more popular ones, like the robot one, for example. I could see that being an alt costume. Now, for Jibanyan's Final Smash, I'm sure there's something in his game that you could pull from that's really great and amazing, and if you're a Yokai Watch fan, please let me know what that would be. But I have my own idea. I came up with something called the Nyan Rush. And the Nyan Rush would be all of these different subcategories of Jibanyan that I have been mentioning. I want all of them to group together and stampede your enemies, and I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be very tongue-in-cheek like the Yokai Watch series is, and it would also give a platform to show off all these different varieties of Jibanyan, and it'd be fun. And I don't know, I really like the idea. But yeah, the Nyan Rush would be what I would call it. And then for assist trophies, there are really two things I would like to see them do. The first would be to add a Whisper, because Whisper is, like I said, the other mascot. He's arguably could be considered who was supposed to be the main mascot, but Jibanyan kind of took over. But either way, Whisper is a very important character in the series, and I would like to see Whisper, maybe even like Nate or whatever, show up with him as an assist trophy, and he'll do something. Maybe he'll show up and summon a yokai, and he has a couple yokais he can summon to do a move, or I don't know, something like that. And then the second assist trophy I would like to see them implement is from another Factor 5 series, because Professor Layton is one of their series, and it's actually a very similar scenario to Yokai Watch. You know, Nintendo Factor 5 makes them over in Japan, and Nintendo publishes them outside of Japan, so Herschel Layton would be a really cool character to see as an assist trophy as well, since they are from the same studio. Now, obviously Yokai Watch was a massive, massive hit in Japan, but really did it do the same here in the West? Well, I don't think that to the same degree, but I do remember when Yokai Watch was making its reveal here in the West, and it was coming over to the United States, there were critics and people in like IGN and all this stuff and all these YouTubers and whatnot that were talking about that Yokai Watch could be so big that it could kill Pokemon. Those were the discussions we were having back in 2015, that this series could potentially kill Pokemon, because that's how big it was. It was rivaling Pokemon, or even more popular than Pokemon in Japan for at least a little while, and it could do the very same here, and could potentially destroy the Pokemon franchise of how great it is, and since it is published by Nintendo. Obviously that didn't happen. Yokai Watch, I still do think it's very popular here in the United States. I don't think it's as popular as Japan, but I mean, its anime is running on Disney XD currently, alongside the Pokemon anime, I might say. So I think it's doing fine. I think it's well known, and I'm assuming kids like them because they keep making one every year and they keep putting them out. So I'm assuming it'll be fine. Plus, like I said, Nintendo publishes these games outside of Japan, so it would really be very good for Nintendo to put Jibanyan into Smash Brothers, because it would make the series more popular and, you know, promote sales and whatnot, and that would just be a good thing for Nintendo. I don't see Nintendo looking at Yokai Watch as a rival to Pokemon like some of the people here did at the time that it released. For Nintendo, I don't really think it matters which one is more popular, because they're gonna make money off both. I'm sure they make more money off Pokemon than they do Yokai Watch, but I don't think that, you know, that's a really big deal, and I don't think Yokai Watch is ever really gonna endanger Pokemon, even if it becomes bigger than Pokemon. I don't think that's a necessary thing. So I think it'll benefit Nintendo to put the character in the game. Plus, Yokai Watch came over to the United States and, you know, the rest of the world in 2015. Smash Bros. 4 was released in 2014. So because of this, they never even had a chance to implement Jibanyan into Super Smash Bros. Because how would they know that the series would have taken off? You know what I mean? Yes, it could have been a Roy from Fire Emblem scenario. They could have done that, I guess. But I don't think that's what Nintendo would do nowadays, especially with a series that isn't necessarily theirs. So there you go. This is the perfect timing. Yokai Watch 4 is coming to the Switch, and I just think it'd be a smart inclusion into the Smash Bros. Series. However, with all that being said, I don't think Jibanyan is going to be in the base roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's not really anything evidence-wise that I can point you in the direction of and be like, well, this is why. I mean, I think there was a tweet where someone talked about to the developers on Twitter and was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to see a Yokai Watch character in Smash? And he was like, yeah, it would be. And people were like, well, if he did that, I mean, he probably isn't in Smash, because they wouldn't be able to talk about it because of a non-disclosure. But he could just be being vague and all this stuff, so I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I read that in like a comment, so I'm not 100% sure if that actually happened or not. But either way, I don't think that a yokai will be present in the base roster. However, I do think they're a great contender for DLC, because Yokai Watch 4 is going to be coming out on Switch in presumably either 2018 or 2019. By 2019, we're going to know about this game. It'll probably get an English release date and a name and everything over here, and they're going to start promoting it. So what a better way to promote the new Yokai Watch game on Switch than to add a yokai into Super Smash Bros. It just makes too much sense. I think it's a good marketing opportunity, and I feel like Nintendo might actually hold back putting them into the base roster so they can release them with the game as it's coming out as DLC. Because like I've been saying, DLC is gonna happen. You know, there's no part of me that's like, no, Nintendo won't do DLC. Sakurai may not want to do DLC, but it's gonna happen. So for all these reasons, I'm going to be giving Jibanyan the verdict of and I don't think I could really not give this one a smash. I know I didn't. everything points to this being a thing. It's almost like the Skylanders phenomena that happened, right? But with a series Nintendo is at least partially involved with, which makes it even more likely it'll be in Smash Brothers. And it'd be weird to me if Yokai Watch didn't get a representative at all in Smash Bros. Ultimate. However, guys, that's just my opinion. What do you think? Should this red little cat guy never have been summoned? Does he need to go back to his little coin and stay far away? Or no, does this guy deserve to be in here? And, you know, since we can't get Digimon, is this the best chance we can get? Because I don't think Agumon has ever come to Super Smash Bros. Remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Share this video with your friends. If they like Super Smash Bros. And hearing about characters and debating characters, show them this video. Maybe they'll enjoy it and maybe they'll come in and have some fun discussions with us down in the comments below. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.